Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with the blog to watch. Today I'm going to take a look at this Konstantin Chaykin Joker by Behrens. So this is a collaboration between the Chinese watch brand Behrens and Konstantin Chaykin, and this is the Joker, the collab Joker. It's an interesting mashup watch, which sort of takes a theme that was made very popular by the Moscow-based watchmaker Konstantin Chaykin and the Shenzhen-based company Behrens, and did a collab. Collaboration watches are very, very popular right now, and this has been a very popular one within the enthusiast community. I was surprised how much commentary this watch got as I've been wearing it at certain industry events over the last several months. I met with the people at the Behrens brands for the first time in Geneva at Watches and Wonders Week. They were there at the Time to Watches event, and I have a lot of admiration for this company. This is not the first watch of theirs that I reviewed, but this is probably the one that's been the most popular, mainly because of the association with the Joker style design. And what that really means is you have these separated dials for the hours and the minutes, which turn into the eyes. And as the indicator hand moves around, it forms sort of wandering pupils that create these interesting types of looks. The Konstantin Chaykin Joker, which I have, and I can do a review video on, if that makes sense. We may have already done one, actually, has a moon phase, and the moon sort of looks like the tongue in the mouth, and of course it changes every 29 days or so. And it sort of creates a different expression. This one goes a slightly different direction and has what they call a wandering seconds hand, and that wandering seconds hand sort of moves in I call it a banana-like motion that roughly looks like a mouth, and you can see there that hand right here, it's moving. The respective logos of the brands are in the eye, so you have the Behrens logo here, and then the Konstantin Chaykin logo here. In the review article that you can find in the blog2watch.com website, you'll see that the eyes are loomed, which means you can see them at night, and it's actually quite cool. The watch case itself is produced from crystallized titanium, which is beautiful, and again, it's probably been the most remarkable thing that people have said about the Behrens Joker. Crystallized titanium is essentially titanium, and what I believe happens is during the formation process, when the titanium cools, it is cooled very, very quickly. It is frozen, and rather than sort of form the normal solid that it would, it crystallizes, because that's what happens if you cool something very, very quickly. Metal can crystallize, of course, and you get this very interesting type of crystallization. I'm not an expert on metal formation, but like I said, that is how I believe crystallized titanium is formed. I know that other metals are formed that way, and it creates a very interesting texture. These types of organic textures, I'll call them, are very popular now, and titanium is really one of the best watch case materials. It's very light, it's very strong, you can polish it, you can cut it very precisely, and you can see the wonderful continuation of the crystallized titanium, both in the case and then on large parts of the dial there. So that merger of the two is quite nice. And again, the facial theme is a little bit different than you might see on the other Joker models. But again, it is very much within the sort of visual context. You can see there the case is 40 millimeters wide, and it has sort of this box-style sapphire crystal that goes completely over the dial there, which is very, very nice. Architecturally speaking, it's a very well-done watch, and it sort of shows the strength of the Behrens brands. Very interesting case back art there. That is special artwork, which I guess represents the watch. This is a Konstantin Chaykin character. So make of that what you will, but that is the artwork on the back of the Behrens and Konstantin Chaykin Joker watch there. And this is, again, a limited edition watch that is limited to 200 pieces there. So it's quite rare. And again, there's just a lot of things here I really like. You can also see there's quick releases on the straps there. I was very unclear. I was like, what are these strange sort of oblong holes in the strap, and What does that have to do with the Joker? Well, what I come to find out is this is a sort of trademark theme that is going to be throughout several Behrens watches. So I remember seeing a very lightweight watch called the 20G, very thin and lightweight, that we have some coverage of on blog2watch.com, which had a strap that also had these sort of holes in it. This is a fluoroelastomer rubber strap, so kind of similar to what you'd have on the Apple Watch Sport band there. It's not silicone, it's not rubber, it's sort of somewhere in between all those, and it's a good material. It's quite comfortable there. Relatively ornate buckle there. Different parts there, some skeletonization, nice high-end feature. This is not a cheap watch, so it's important to look at all these features. One of the things which typified the Konstantin Chaykin Joker watches was having ears. We'd have a crown on both the right and the left of the case, and they did that because the corrector pusher for the moon phase mouth was here in this other crown. This is the only one turned. Behrens just said, no, I don't want to have a superfluous part. There's no need for a corrector, so it just has the crown. So if you really miss the ears, you might need to look into a different one of the Chaykin Joker watches. But this is a very interesting one nonetheless here. Okay, so let's put it on the wrist. And again, this is 42 millimeters wide, water resistant to, I don't know, I think 100 meters or something like that. There it is. Handsome watch, right? Very comfortable. Behrens, all the Behrens watches I've worn have been very comfortable. Neat looking, kind of crazy. It's a face on the wrist. That's a very popular thing right now, is watches with faces on the wrist. 14 millimeters thick. It actually feels thinner than that, and a lot of that is because it sort of wears close to the wrist, the lugs curve, and a lot of the height is actually just that sapphire crystal there. So the case itself is probably around 10 millimeters thick. So that's not too bad. And you can see that it is not a small watch, but it definitely wears relatively elegantly. So there it is. That is the reference BHR028 Behrens X Konstantin Chaykin Joker, a limited edition. The price for this watch is $9,200. I don't know if there's any left at the time of writing this review video, but these are the types of watches that tend to show up from time to time on the secondary market. This is really, really fun, and I think a very smart way for the Behrens brand to introduce itself more to community through the popularity of the Konstantin Chaykin Joker. You can see the full review on blog2watch.com. Thank you so much.